Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader. I have a message for Gemini today. I have asked my guides and spirit to come through with a message that's deeply meaningful for you and helpful as you move on your spiritual path this week. So I invite you to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It really helps to keep you in touch every week with consistent spiritual high vibration wisdom and help so that you can keep moving forward on your journey. So I also wanted to let you know I really do appreciate your comments and any likes you may feel compelled to give during the course of this reading. If you feel so compelled, if not, totally okay. So let's start with your reading. There's a little bit of a disconnect. I'm just going to start right away with there's a disconnect between the emotions you're feeling and the thoughts you're wanting to think about them and the time you're wanting to spend on this emotion. So in short, I'm saying you're moving on too quickly. So the situation around you, the energy around you is the Eight of Cups. This is the energy of feeling that you need to leave a situation because you're feeling deeply sad about it. So there's something in your world that's not fulfilling anymore. It's causing a sadness in you. And instead of taking time to really look into it and to really go into why this was not so fulfilling, why you're feeling so sad about it, you've got the Magician card. You're already on to the next thing. You're like, well, that didn't work. That didn't make me happy. I want this now. So you're trying to manifest your desires a little too fast. You haven't really processed or allowed yourself to experience the depth of sadness that this circumstance created. The reason why you need to fully understand that experience, fully understand that sadness, is so that you really truly understand what it is that you do want. So it's kind of like if you put everything into your shopping cart and you get home and you only put away two things, you've only considered two things that you've got. You've forgotten about all this other stuff that you've also brought home with you. So you're forgetting about all the other baggage, or you're not seeing all the aspects of whatever the situation was. And for a lot of you, this is a relationship, but for some of you, this is a work situation. So you can't fully manifest into the future until you have realized what really wasn't working. So the reason why you're not wanting to do this, we've got the Emperor going into the Four of Wands, going to the Ten of Pentacles, but then going into the Six of Cups, and then ending in the Seven of Cups. So let me work backwards, actually. This is a little different. The Seven of Cups means that your head is in the clouds. You're not quite sure what to choose. So not only is there indecision going on, but there's a little bit of delusion going on where you either think you have an option that's not really a good, viable option for you or a beneficial option, or you're just so lost in the fantasy world that you don't even realize what it is that you're choosing. We got there because we got to the Six of Cups. And this is so interesting because we started the reading with the 8. So we've got 6, 7, 8 in here. The Six of Cups brought you back to childhood, brought you back to the past, saying, oh, but things weren't so bad. And so again, because you haven't correctly assimilated this situation, you don't know what it is that you actually want. And that's why you've got this fantasy thing going on. Now we're again working backwards. You have seen, no, hang on a second, they're giving me something else. Okay, they're saying this Ten of Pentacles is more of a desire than an actuality, which I think is really different. I've never had that in a reading before. The Ten of Pentacles is usually something very solid, like a goal that you want, and they're saying that this is in this position more as a wish rather than actual fulfillment. This is supported by the fact that it's got the Four of Wands. So yes, you've figured out some of these things that you want, but you haven't figured out all of them. 4 isn't done. The 4 is only, it's not even halfway. It's like a third of the way there, a little less than a third of the way there. So finally we get to the reason for all of this, the Emperor. The Emperor is that part of us that only wants to see the world the way we want to see it. So we create our world, but we're unwilling to see anything that doesn't quite fit it. In a sense, or in just a nutshell, it's our control. we don't want to look at something because then we have to give up control, or we have to do something uncomfortable and we're unwilling to give up our comfort. So you don't want to look. So part of the reason why you're not wanting to look more deeply at this is because it kind of contradicts the way you want to see the world. You would rather see the world full of all the things that you really, really love and full of all the things that stimulate you and make you happy, rather than deeply look at what is it that just isn't working in your world. This is, when this comes up, it's your soul bubbling up saying, I am deeply unhappy because of something we've created, because of something in our world that just isn't flowing for us anymore, isn't working for us anymore. But this emperor prevents you from looking deeper because he sits on the surface, very happy just to keep things the way that they were. But you see that if you block, and the emperor also keeps things in a box, and you cannot keep your emotions in a box, right? Emotions flow and they're messy and chaotic, but this emperor is just trying to keep everything contained. If you try to do that, you're not giving yourself permission to connect with your emotional wisdom. If you don't have the emotional component of whatever it is that you're looking at, you don't have the whole picture. There is information, and I know you as a Gemini, you're an information junkie. There is information in your emotions, but you have to be willing to go through them and understand them. So the biggest advice I can give to you this week is to spend a little more time, sit still for a second, spend a little more time thinking about, meditating on, pondering this situation deeply. That sadness you feel inside, really feel into the root of it. I'm not talking about going on some kind of drama queen journey through all your emotions and being up and down and crying and laughing, and that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about taking some time to take a cue from that sadness and talk to it and say, why are you so sad? Tell me more. Tell me more. I need to hear more. Give me more information. Communicate with it. Get to see it as a teacher, not as something to be overwhelmed by. So if you've got questions on that process, please reach out in the comments. And for those of you on the spiritual journey that really want to get to the next level, I invite you to check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. It's got a lot of awesome offerings, one-on-one readings, an ongoing mentorship program, and some online classes. So I look forward to seeing you next time, and have a great week.